may stand again. Stretch one more time. I want you to get a good stretch because Bruce Johnson is the next one. And those of you that were at Mission Festival here 2 years ago know what that means. So, no, you may be seated again. The next guy, 1979 to 1984, is Pastor Bruce Johnson, who really is a nice guy. And I take back all that I've said tonight, Bruce. And his wife Gwen and their family is also here this evening. And I'm not going to take your time. Come on.
Okay, let's get some things straight right away. How come Pastor Jurgens gets to wear shorts? I've had long pants on for 6 months now, and then I got to wear them to this, and Bill shows up with shorts. Sure, you came from camp. Sure. Dorothy, my wife's never going to find out what I say. Not a chance. And it's really interesting, Howard, what you shared, that you brought a gift, and I expect to take one. I'm kind of a loose change kind of guy, so if you've got loose change, guess what? You know, I didn't come from Oklahoma. In fact, I went to Oklahoma once, and I know I never wanted to come from Oklahoma. But now I live in Colorado, and I want to tell you something about Colorado right away. That when I moved to Colorado, we beat Nebraska about 25% of the time. Of course, that percent goes down every year. I just want you to know that, because if I recall right, you people gave me a great amount of grief that I was going to become a Colorado Buffalo fan, and I would have nothing but depression and despair all my time there. And I remember that clearly when I left. And I was sure you were going to be right. And you were until that one Saturday. Remember it? That one Saturday? Boy. You know where my memories begin? Tita's Cafe. You know, you have nice cafes in town now, but nothing like Tita's. No, they just can't compare. The food is probably equally as good, and the fellowship and the people that are there are equally as good, but boy, what a place and what history that has. I used to find out all kinds of things there. I used to find out how farmers made decisions, how bowling went the night before, when some of those young guys would just kind of get home and come and have a cup of coffee before they went to work. I remember that. You know, another thing I remember one Sunday when I was here, the rescue squad, the rescue unit had just begun, and a call came in. I think at that time there were like 8 people in the rescue squad. 15 to 20 people got up and left the church. And I thought, boy, that squad is getting bigger all the time. I didn't even know that. I remember that stuff. I remember about our youth trips. We used to go to Kansas City on an annual trip, and sometimes we stayed over and we went to ball games, and it was just, it was really interesting. We never lost the youth on any of the trips. Never lost one. I'm not sure about the adults. Did that Hottovy guy ever get back here? I'm sure he did. You know, I remember confirmation classes too. And I mean, it's really fun to be here at anniversaries because it just shows your age. Because when Jody and Kathy were singing, Jody was in a confirmation class I had, and I was there for Lloyd and Kathy's wedding, and it's fun to see that age all happen. But the confirmation classes, I remember one time I started out and I said, you know, we need to pray before the classes. And it's important that you pray. I said, I know how to pray. That's my job. They didn't always believe that, but that's kind of stuff we talked about. So the first time I had anyone pray, I had Randy Page. I said, Randy, would you pray to start the class? And no one had ever prayed in that class before, out loud, at least in confirmation. So Randy sat there for about a minute, silence. You could tell he was thinking. And then he started out, he said, "Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest, and may this class to us be blessed." Unbelievable. You know, I remember the choirs. I remember sitting and just having the hair stand back up on the back of my neck with the music, and it was just powerful singing. I also remember one time when Curtis Carty was singing a solo, and he used to do that in the summer with all that special music. And I remember him singing a solo, and I was sitting over there, and Curtis was right over there, and he was singing, and I kept hearing this humming all the while it was going on. And then the more Curtis sang, the louder he sang, the louder the humming was. And then I glanced over, and there was Charlotte, humming along as she played. And I don't know if that happened with all the music that was here, but I remember that one. Oh, I remember mission festivals too. Mission festivals were incredible, and they were very significant for me, because this church was willing to spare no expense to get people in here to talk about mission and talk about world mission. And I remember times when I remember Paul Hollenstein from Beatrice came and told these incredible stories when he was in Brazil. I remember Bob Austin, who was from Loveland, Colorado. He came, he'd been on a world mission tour, and he talked about all the dramatic events of mission that he had seen. And they were just two examples of mission festivals. Powerful, significant parts of my life. I know I grew a lot of those. And you're to be commended for that kind of intensity and the people you would have here. I remember the guys in the back corner too. I remember those guys, Dorothy. I never sent my wife back there. See, those guys got bigger. There's no way I'm sending my wife back there. No way. But I remember another part where when we started the mission festival, or the mission partner program, and remember we took that special offering every second Sunday, I think, of the month, and all the loose change, and I even wrote that, loose change. I remember Kim Brighusen was the treasurer at that time, and the first offering we got, that's what we got, was loose change. And those plates were so heavy. I mean, it was just, and of course, Kim loved that, all that money, all that change. But anyway, I didn't know this story was going on at the time, but later I found out that about the second month we did that, the first mission that I ever knew about, which was what, down the street here? First mission, I think it's like only a block over or so. That was the first mission I knew about. And there was a group that was living, I think, in the mission at that time. And we had just taken that mission partner offering on the second Sunday. And I didn't know at the time, but Gary Adams, who was here then, happened to be noticing that not very many people were putting very much money in.